Video is how sensing works. Let's begin. So, a lot of things in sensing, you're going to need to use like control loops to actually make sense of them, especially when you have this like hexagonal shape. Not really, but it's kind of like, I don't know what you'd call that. A rectangular hexagon. That doesn't even make sense. I know. It's got the pointy ends. These things go inside. These pointy ends represent something that'll either be true or false. So, let's start from the top. Touching. So, touching, I can this is a true or false is whatever sprite I'm clicked on, sprite or whatever, touching a mouse the mouse pointer, is it touching the edge or is it touching another sprite? I can check if that's true or not. So I'm gonna repeat something until Scratch is touching Abby. Let's say I do it this way. And I can say let's say I repeat until he's touching Abby, then it'll jump out. So let's say I want Scratch to move forward, and then after he touches Abby, it's going to jump out of this, right? And then I'm going to have him say hello. So watch what happens. So Scratch moves forward until his sprite, and then I'll stop it right here. His sprite is touching Abby, and it's like his whisker is barely touching Abby. Then this will be true. It jumps out of the repeat loop, and then he says hello. That's how it works. I move him up here. I do the same. Oops. Oh, stop. Do the same thing. As soon as his whisker touches Abby, hello. So the idea of touching is if that's true or not, he's going to say that. Now, what if it's not touching Abby? I'm going to hit stop. We're going to have to reset him. What if I say touching the edge? So he'll go forward. Till he touches the edge, then he says hello, right? That's a different way to use touching. I can also say mouse pointer. Let's see how this works. Oh, wait, don't do it that way. Notice that. So notice, I know he's going really fast. Maybe I slow him down a little bit. So if I do this, he's moving. But as soon as he touched my mouse pointer, he stopped and he said hello. So you can make it touching mouse. Like how is that stuff useful? Maybe an object's following your mouse around or whatever. Maybe you're controlling it in like a game and some object will be following your mouse. Like actually you can, so here's a neat thing. You can go point towards the mouse pointer, and then I can have it move forward, let's say 2 steps. So watch this. Scratch will move towards my mouse pointer right now, and he'll keep rotating towards it until he reaches it. Then he stops and says hello. So this is a neat way to use that mouse pointer feature. I'm having him point towards that. That was a motion, and then move forward 2 steps. So kind of cool. Do that again. Make him follow me. Maybe if you're having like a missile or something follow, or maybe you can have him follow a different sprite too. The other sprite's moving based off of whatever. All right. So that's one way how to use sensing for touching. All right. You can also check if you're touching a color too. Let's say not touching a mouse pointer. I'm going to have him. Let's say I do this. Let's say he's touching a color. Now, how do they get that color? You can pick a color. Maybe it's like you draw a line on your screen, or maybe it's like the color of, let's say it's color of Abby's shoes, this green. So watch what happens now. He's going to keep moving until he touches the green on her shoes right here. Let's say if it's, okay, the green on her shoes. Say it's the brown in her hair. Let's try this again. Gonna move. It's okay. He can touch her shoes. But as soon as he goes up to her hair, he says hello. So it's kind of cool. Maybe you can have like a barrier based off colors, or maybe it can even be based off the background of the scene. So if I switch backdrops right here, okay, baseball. There's a lot of different colors in here. Okay, baseball. Let's go with this one. So maybe I'm back to scratch right here. I'm going to say a different color. Let's say I pick the not this white. Well, let's say we pick the brown here. Okay. So, let's see. So as soon as he hits the brown of the ground, it's going to say hello. So there you go. You can kind of do things that way too. Um Move 'em right here. Maybe if I want to switch the color to maybe like pick the white right here. Now, I picked that white, But this white should also do the same thing. Oh, he's already touching it. See. So as soon as he touches the pitcher's mound, stop. What's that called again? Still released. But also, if he touches the white up here by home plate or the lines, he's also going to say hello. So that's the thing. You have to watch the colors and have a unique color. If I just tried like green, or pick, maybe I could pick this dark green over here. Pick this darker green, right? And then I could say, okay, well, this green will be okay. As soon as he touches this darker green area, yep, he's going to stop. There's your touching. Now you can also do if a color is touching another color. So it might be like, I want, let's say, and this can be weird, maybe like on scratch. So watch this. I'm going to take the scratch picture right here. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to put like a little dot on scratch. This is one way you can do this. I'm going to do it in purple. I'm going to put it on his nose. Okay. So now he's got a dot on his nose. So when I'm going to pick a color, that when that purple is touching, let's see, he's going to be touching Abby's shoes. So let's start this. I'm going to turn off hello. Now notice this is going to happen when that color touches the color of Abby's shoes. So not right away. Oops, it didn't. Oh, surprised it didn't pick it up. Okay, interesting. Maybe that's super sensitive. Let's edit the costume more. A bigger nose. I don't actually know why. Try it now. It should. There you go. So maybe that color spot wasn't big enough and it wasn't working. So, but there you go. Oops. Now if I just did this, whenever that pink spot covers over a different that color of green, it's gonna say hello. There you go. That's another way. Maybe you like on a sprite, you could put there's certain unique colors in a sprite, and then when that reaches a certain point on the screen, you can have an event happen, whatever you want to do. All right. Moving on. So distance too. Sometimes, so whenever you have these oval things, these actually give you numbers. So like the pointy ends will give you true or false. Ovals like this will give you numbers. So a distance to the mouse pointer. So maybe I want to say the distance to mouse pointer, distance to Abby. So let's say repeat until, and I know this is going into operators, repeat until distance to Abby, say is less, I say distance to, like Abby is less than 20. So he's going to keep going, following the mouse till he's really close to Abby. Watch what happens now. When he gets close to Abby, oh, that's weird. There you go. I guess it's like the center of the sprite. So maybe that doesn't work. Maybe a distance to it, because it's a big sprite right here. Maybe if I said like 50, that makes more sense here. So because it's probably centered. So it's not just like any spot in the sprite. It's like his probably center to like the center of Abby, wherever that is the distance. So play around with that one. A distance to mouse pointer. This might be if you want it to follow your mouse pointer and never catch up to you. So watch this. So I want him to, he's chasing my mouse pointer. But when he gets to it, he says hello. Maybe if you want it to chase, maybe this would be good. Or maybe it's chasing another sprite that's moving around. Like it's like some kind of like homing missile type thing. And then whenever it reaches it, you want something to happen, like game over. I don't know. So that's the kind of stuff with distance too. Other things in sensing. So in sensing, this is an important thing. We got input. So sometimes we can ask questions. Scratch is going to, so here's how this is going to work now. I'm going to have that same code, but he's going to ask me what my name is and wait. So when he hits me, he's going to go, hello. And he's going to go, what is your name? And go, I don't know, Rofi. Now, and it's all done. Now, what's cool is I can make him say hi. I can make him say hello. and I can make him say my name. So what I'm going to make him do, I can just drop that in there and watch. Oops. Do this again. He's going to reach this. What is my name? And I can say Apple. And now he's going to say Apple. Great. So you can make him do that with the sensing with the answers. Now, a neat thing, if you want to just see what the current answer is, just check this. It'll have a little thing up here. Whenever these values that can change, they're kind of like variables in a way, but you can have them up here. All right. I can stop this, stop it, and then run this again. And whatever you type in, it's going to save there. All right. Ask and wait. So if you need inputs, like, asking questions, that's a great way to do it. Other things here. Now we have other sensing. True or false if a key button is pressed. That was very similar we did before on this controls. I think we had to use these, or we used an events when some button is pressed. It's kind of behaving the same way here. So is a certain true or false when this button is pressed, go. So maybe I want this to repeat until space is pressed here. So I have him follow me till I hit the space bar, and then it stops. You can do that kind of stuff. Or whatever button you want. Or any button. So he would run until any button is pressed. And there you go. Okay, mouse down. So this is another neat thing. So whenever you click down, your mouse button clicks down. So usually that's like that kind of you use this function if like whenever you're trying to like press a button on the screen. So like mouse down. Sometimes there's like a mouse up too, but not in this case. So he'll follow me until I click the mouse down and click mouse down. Now, what if I click down off screen? No, I have to click on screen. So maybe I click on something. And that means that event will happen. So there you go. We're sensing the mouse inputs. Other neat things here is we can use the mouse X and Y values. So if you want to use those wherever the current position of the mouse is, maybe something changes on the screen. There you go. Draggable. Here's another sensing thing. If you know how I like do this, if you don't want a sprite to be draggable, like you can set this to not draggable. So now, oops. So we're still stuck in here. What if I do not draggable? That means, oops. No. I shouldn't be able to drag him, right? Oh, that's weird. I thought that. I can drag? Huh. I'm not sure what's going on there. I was pretty sure that what happens with this is that you can't pick them up. What if I did this? Okay, so I'm not sure what draggable does. I was pretty sure it was about being able to click something, pick it up with the mouse pointer. I think that's how it works, but I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. I don't know what you'd use that for. Maybe if you had the mouse button, like pick things up from the screen and put things away, but I don't know. Another neat variables you can have on here is loudness and timer. So this is a measure of how loud my screen is. So this is a way like if you want to debug things, you remember in events when loudness is greater than 10, do stuff. Or maybe you want to have some other kind of sensors. So let's say if I have, I'm going to use operators again, when loudness, say if I went with loudness is greater than 30, I want it to do something. So, but then I start talking and I hit that loudness level and then it left the loop. So if you use the microphone, there you go. We also have this timer here. So notice the timer's on the screen. Is the timer actually on the screen? Oh, there it is. It was kind of hidden. Oh, you can drag them around. That's cool. So timer is something that's just always going. Sometimes you maybe want to reset the timer and you like want to wait, repeat until maybe like timer is greater than 5 seconds. So maybe I reset this timer at the start and then I go. So he'll follow me for 5 seconds and then stops right there. Notice the timer keeps going. And you can always reset the timer. So that's if you want to do a timing thing, that's a great way to do it. And then seeing it on the screen. You don't need to see it on the screen to run the timer. So it would just run fine right here, but just behind the scenes, it's counting 5 seconds, and there it goes. All right. Next thing, You can also sense the backdrop of the stage. So which backdrop are you? Are you in? Oh, so you can check the oh, it's cool. So, other numerical values here when we're round, you can find the X and Y positions of other sprites on the screen, or the direction Abby's facing, or a costume she's on, costume number, costume name, whatever, the size, the volume of Abby. Okay. Also, oh yeah, because you can set the volume when those sprites talk. So maybe you want to use it. Also, of the backdrops, you can change the backdrop name, number, volume, all sorts of things you can change here. Crazy. All right. So different things you might use. You can set the time to. You can even see the current hours. So it's 10 o'clock right now. The current month. Its month is 2, which is February today. And you can set the year, whatever. Days since 2000. The year 2000. That's crazy. So it keeps track of how many days since the year 2000. What would you use that for? I guess if you're trying to do like a real life timer to know what day it is, maybe you use that for something. I don't know. You can also use the username. I don't know if that's useful, but there it is. So there's sensing. These are a lot of values you can use probably as part of operators or in control or other events. But that's it.